watchdog group claims that contaminated water from that leaky Potomac sewage pipe continues to make its way into the Potomac.
The river keeper stressing the need for testing to continue for months.
We have been pleading with every agency that'll listen that we want to see ongoing monitoring throughout the entire summer. If we're going to restore the public's faith and confidence in coming back to the river, the last thing that needs to happen is the data stops.
We also saw EPA members out here. They told us that they have looked at and are reviewing the report from the river keepers.
7 News' Josh Chapin, DC Water, says repairs on the 72-inch leaky pipe should be completed this week. The search continues for a birthday suit burglar in Centerville.
A disturbing string of crimes. A naked man burglarizing even while people are inside.
It's pretty creepy. It's pretty out there.
Being so close to home, too, it's really disturbing.
This 4-day crime spree started on March 5th. That's when detectives say the man walked into the bedroom of a home here on Bodley Square, but he immediately ran away after being confronted by the victim who's getting ready for work.
7 News' Christian Flores, police say they need homeowners to check their security cameras to help identify the man. The real estate market in the D.C. metro not heating up for spring quite yet.
For February, closed sales were down in the Washington, D.C. metro by 2.2%.
But Erica Plemons, real estate economist with Bright MLS, adds,
however, when we look at contract activity through new pending sales, those rose by 3.9%.
Mostly for detached single-family homes, as slightly more inventory becomes available, driving up the median price.
Was $610,000.
I had my class reunion, 45th last year. This was my name tag. There's my senior picture right there.
Donald Trump standing behind Jeffrey Epstein in the famous Jack and Rose.
That's me in 12th grade.
Film. It's not clear how long the statue will remain. Dow futures down 226 points. NASDAQ futures down 55. Traffic and weather next.
See, they printed it out from the yearbook and made a copy of it.
One-day delivery for the win. It's on Prime.
Hey, Dad, I've been saving up, and I think I'm ready to buy my own car.
Still a little sticky.
Have you thought about how you're going to finance it? I really like banking with Northern Credit Union. They offer loans, right? Well, of course they do. Your mom and I have banked with Northern Credit Union for a long time and have gone through them for a lot of things, like our home improvement loan for the deck we put on last summer. You should really stop in and see them before you shop around. Yeah, but look, you can apply for a loan right in your Northern Credit Union mobile banking app. Oh, really? Well, that's convenient. I knew anyone could apply for a loan at mynorthern.com. Looks like they're making it even easier now. Apply for your next loan with Northern Credit Union online or in mobile banking. Not a member? Not a problem. Apply for your loan on our website at mynorthern.com. New car? Used car? First car? Home loan? Personal loan? We've got you covered. Visit mynorthern.com to learn more. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal opportunity lender. Jamie Whitten in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
New York Avenue crash reported between South Dakota Avenue and the light at Bladensburg Road. Heavy rush hours still over the Anacostia and Potomac River crossings. Getting you there, east on 66, jammed out of Arlington, southbound George Washington Parkway. Solid delays before the Spout Run Parkway. Crystal City, the crash is on the northbound side of Route 1 north of 23rd Street. The crash is on southbound 5 at Morris Road. Solid delays from Surratt's Road, and northbound 5 slows from the 301 split. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Record warmth today. Fronts on the way, going to knock us down by tomorrow. Near just above 80 today would break the record of 79. This morning, maybe a shower or two. Better chance this afternoon. Tonight, chance of showers, maybe a thunder shower, mid 50s with a gusty breeze. Breezy on Thursday. The front comes through with showers likely through early afternoon. Temperatures staying in the mid 50s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik on WMAL.
65 at Reagan National. John Matthews, News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Chris Plant.
The 2026 Beauty Show Festival was held last month in Oman, and at least 20 camels were disqualified because they had received cosmetic enhancements.
I knew those humps weren't real. Yes, it's true. These are the people that we're dealing with in the Middle East. They literally have a beauty contest for the women that they truly love, and they are one-hump camels. You know, dromedary camels. They love their camels, and when I say they love their camels, what I mean is, that's right, they pumped them full of Botox. Camels disqualified from beauty contest for Botox, fillers. Yeah, you want your camel to look her best when there's a beauty contest coming up. A group of beauty queens has been caught using fillers and Botox to enhance their looks. But these rule breakers aren't human. USA Today reports they're camels. The unusual scandal unfolded in the 2026 Camel Beauty Show Festival in Al Musana, Oman. Omanashevitz, I'm telling you. Yeah, that's right. They're dressing up their lady camels to look as pretty as they can make them. 20 camels were disqualified after inspectors, they have inspectors, they're camel inspectors at the beauty show, discovered they had undergone cosmetic enhancements. They only have one hump to dress up because, you know, they're not Bactrian camels in Oman. They're dromedary camels, as any child of 6 can tell you. According to reports from Vice News and Forbes magazine, veterinary officials identified signs of injected fillers and Botox-like substances, procedures, listen now, that are strictly banned under the competition rules designed to preserve the camel's natural beauty, because, you know, you got to preserve the natural beauty of your camel. Otherwise, you know, the trophy wouldn't be legitimate. It'd be like a transgender guy winning a swimming meet or something like that. The discovery has reignited debate over the lengths breeders will go to in pursuit of prize money and prestige, very prestigious, at high-profile camel beauty contests, which are hugely popular across the Gulf region. And here's a picture of two camels kissing each other. They're kind of kissing head on. They look like they really like each other, though. I think they might be serious. So we've got that going. That's the Middle East. The Middle East is not like every place else. It's very much unlike every place else, especially in Western civilization. And, you know, I'm fine with camels. I've ridden camels. Camels they have terrible breath and they spit a lot and they're not the friendliest beasts in the world. But if you like them, then that's up to you. Look at the things we say are okay in the United States of America. I guess a camel beauty contest in Oman is perfectly fine as well. Speaking of the Muslim Middle East, we've got a war going on against Iran, the world's #1 sponsor of terrorism, and there are a lot of hijinks going on there as well. They decided they would try to drop sea mines in the Strait of Hormuz, through which 188% of the world's oil goes through. A huge percentage, not really 100 Democrats are like, how could 188% of the oil go through the Strait of Hormuz? That was an embellishment, but never mind that. A great deal of the world's oil goes through there. So the Iranians decided they'd screw with the whole world and the world economy, and they'd mine the narrow Strait of Hormuz, through which so much oil travels by ship and so on. So the United States went in and blew up, 16 ships, and Israel too, blew up 16 Iranian ships that were mining the Strait of Hormuz so they could blow up oil ships and create environmental disasters. But even this doesn't turn the Democrats against them, because they're just with the Ayatollah. They're just with radical Islam. And, they got their No Kings rallies, but they didn't say no Ayatollahs, right? They had these No Kings rallies. Then, of course, they came out in support of the King of Holland, because the Democrat Party wants to preserve his colonial holding of Greenland. They love kings. They love monarchies. They love the left. They're totalitarian, and they love everything that's bad for America. Whatever's bad for America is good for the Democrats. Whatever's good for America is bad for the Democrats. Democrats are against anything that's good for America, and they're for anything that is bad for America. Now that I've said that out loud, you'll start noticing, hey, what Chris said is true. Listen to that. It's true again. Isn't that amazing? Speaking of Democrats and jihadis, were we just speaking of Democrats? We were talking about Democrats and jihadis. And it turns out somebody crashed their vehicle through one of the barricades at the White House this morning before 7 a.m. I bet they were up all night. I bet they didn't get up early because neither one of these groups, they're not early to rise, early to bed types. They're very different. But we've got a lunatic that crashed vehicle through one of the gates of the White House and into one of the White House gates. Under arrest, the Secret Service under arrest has arrested the individual. And when it happened this morning, my best girl and I were sitting around, having snacks and watching the news and laughing at all the silly people, and heard about the guy crashing a vehicle into the White House gate. And so, well, there are options here. There's what with everything going on in Iran, the attack, like the Democrats love the jihadis that threw the improvised explosive devices in New York a couple of days ago, and they love them. They're on the side of the bomb throwing jihadis. The Democrats are, and we had that jihadi attack. We had a jihadi attack in Austin, Texas, a little more than a week ago, and that guy, he shot 16 people. He was jihadi, then he was shot and killed. And now, this morning, a vehicle crashes into the White House, to one of the entrance gates at the White House, and it's either a jihadi, it's either a radical Islamic jihadi attack, or it's a Democrat. And you know that with certainty. Right? Because who else could it be? It's either a Democrat, all of them are mentally ill at this point and violently, criminally insane. So we've got the two possibilities here. One, a radical Muslim who wanted to attack the White House, or two, a radical Democrat. What's the difference, really? Who wanted to attack the White House because President Trump is there. And I heard on the news, on the radio this morning, that the Democrats have built an art exhibit on the mall in Washington, and it's kind of a fake version of the bow of the Titanic. And, I'm the king of the world. Who is that? Leonardo DiCaprio. And I'm the king of the world. But it's Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein up there. These people, Jeffrey Epstein was a lifelong Democrat donor. Donald Trump is the only person we know of that actually called the police on them. And no Democrat did, not a single Democrat. I'm telling you, Democrat Party is mentally ill. Every single Democrat voter, I think, should be considered mentally ill until it's established otherwise. Aren't they amazing? Yeah, but we got another incident at the White House, and they built this exhibit on the mall, and they call it an art exhibit. I haven't seen it yet. I'm sure it's completely idiotic, just like the people behind it. And Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. I got to tell you, everybody that is in trouble for Jeffrey Epstein is a lifelong Democrat. They keep trying to say that Donald Trump is a child rapist and he's a terrible person and all. Jeffrey Epstein. He kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of his home in Florida. He called the police on Jeffrey Epstein and said, and don't forget Ghislaine Maxwell, she is evil. She's evil. And somehow the Democrats make Donald Trump the bad guy out of this. The lifelong Democrat is Jeffrey Epstein in the story. Isn't that amazing? They're mental. They genuinely are. And we have so many crazy Democrat stories today. It's impossible to say even where to begin. But the story, the Mirror out of the United Kingdom has the story, and CNN doesn't. Oh, we got more CNN hijinks as well. Boy, are they amazing. But the Mirror out of the United Kingdom. Car crashes into White House as Secret Service swarm vehicle. And this one is a little bit amusing because the Democrats, they say, and the reporter at CBS, you're a Democrat, it's the law, and it has to be that way. But the people at the Mirror, a driver has been arrested by the Secret Service after an incident involving a, quote, suspicious vehicle, unquote, near the White House today. Streets were closed with police tape near the home of the U.S. President Donald Trump this morning after a car reportedly crashed into the gates of the White House. There are these street closures and delays around the White House this morning, just before 7 a.m. There are always a lot of streets closed and a lot of delays around the White House. CBS reporter Natalie Brand said, quote, due to a Secret Service investigation, That's oh, really? That's the roads are shut down and they put up police tape because of that's quite a report. She added that a spokesperson had said they're looking into a suspicious vehicle and says the driver has been detained and is being questioned. That seems appropriate. Another CBS journalist, Sarah Cook, never heard of either one of them, added that a vehicle collided with the White House gate and make it sound like the White House gate was moving. And the White House gate was moving. Meanwhile, a senior White House reporter, Jennifer Jacobs, reported seeing streets around the White House temporarily shut down with police tape and a surge of law enforcement officials due to a suspicious vehicle. It is suspicious when the vehicle crashes into the White House. That's what that would be considered suspicious. You don't have to be Columbo to figure that out. She said the driver of the car has been detained and was being questioned by U.S. Secret Service. That seems appropriate, doesn't it? But they don't say a lunatic crashed his car deliberately into the gate, and he's either a pro-Iran Islamist or a pro-Iran Democrat or an anti-Trump Democrat. The incident reportedly took place at the intersection of Connecticut Avenue and H Street. That's actually not right at the White House, but okay, northwest, the perimeter of the presidential estate. It's the outer perimeter. Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police said the van drove through a security barricade near the White House, according to ABC 7 News, local news in Washington, at approximately 6:37 a.m. Up all night doing cocaine, probably. Metropolitan Police Department said officers responded for the call placed near the White House to assist the United States Secret Service after the van drove through a barricade at Connecticut Avenue and H Streets. And authorities confirmed there are no injuries. The driver has been apprehended. Police temporarily closed several streets near the White House. Ongoing investigation. And we'll keep our ear to the ground on that. When we find out that it's a jihadi, like in New York or Austin, Texas, or a Democrat. But really, what's the difference? Which group of people is more notoriously violent? Let's think about that. We'd have to do some math on that, I think. Just extraordinary. These people, can I just say, these people? Yes, sir. We've got a lot going on now. We got CNN, we got The View. They're mental. They're just they're extraordinary. These ridiculous people, and with all the chaos in the world, really the Democrat Party is not on Team America. Boy, are they not on Team. And you could be against bombing Iran. I can see you being against bombing Iran, but the Democrats take it about 50 steps further than that. And I mean, from Chuck Schumer on down, these ridiculous people. I'm amazed that this political party still exists in the United States of America. The people at CNN yesterday, we were mocking them because they referred to the two terrorists in New York, Muslim youths at 18 and 19 years old, who made improvised explosive devices and brought them to and wait till you hear the news media and The View, Whoopi Goldberg and the others at The View, and the people on CNN. They misreport absolutely everything. Two Pennsylvania teenagers crossed into New York City Saturday morning for what could have been a normal day, enjoying the city during abnormally warm weather. Yeah, I think you're missing the lead here. I don't know if you've ever written a lead of any news story before. But in less than an hour, their lives would drastically change as the pair would be arrested. Oh, really? Why? Why were they arrested? Probably for nothing, by ICE or something. For throwing homemade bombs during an anti-Muslim protest. Oh, there was an anti-Muslim, so naturally Muslims had to throw bombs. That'll show you. Why were you having an anti-Muslim protest? Well, because, they tend to throw bombs. We're having an anti-Muslim protest, and Muslims showed up and threw bombs at them. And wait till you hear what the news media is saying about it now. CNN and the idiots in The View and on, remarkable things. These people. Also, Eric Swalwell. I've got a great Eric Swalwell story for you. This is great. There were illegal aliens arrested and deported. What did Eric Swalwell do? That's coming up. And who is less popular, Iran or the Democratic Party? ICE, that's Immigration Customs Enforcement, or the Democratic Party? There's a fun new poll out I want to share.
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Crystal City is to watch for the crash cleanup on Route 1 north of 23rd Street. That was heavy each direction. Still jammed back near the Pentagon, 395 north across the 14th Street Bridge onto the freeway. 295 slows each direction, getting onto the freeway as well. Pressure is still on to the Wilson Bridge back near Route 5, Branch Avenue. Between Clinton and Brandywine, the crash is on Route 5 southbound at Moores Road, slowing in each direction. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Warm and humid today, a shower possible throughout the day. Afternoon thunderstorms and a high of 80. Scattered showers overnight, turning colder, low 50.
Prime one-day delivery is fast. How fast are we talking? We're talking game night delivered by tomorrow night fast. So we can win fast. Cards fast, puzzles fast, team games at your door in a day fast. Doesn't matter what the game is, we will dominate fast. We're talking game over, you win fast. Fast one-day delivery for the win. It's on Prime.
It's truck and SUV season at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT, yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy Truck Z71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader, and out of Washington Street or online at widgetautosales.com.
It's time to wake up to a chance to win. The Powerball jackpot is rising. So get a stretch in, pour yourself a cup of joe, and head to your favorite New York lottery retailer to seize the day. It's your chance to win the $50 million jackpot. Good morning and good luck, New York. Please play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call the Hope Line at 1-8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
The pediatric team at Community Health Center of the North Country understands your kids are the most important things in your life, and each one of them is unique in their own way. This means care needs to be personalized for each son or daughter you bring through the doors at our Ogdensburg Health Center. Dr. Sunny Patel and Dr. Tiffany Hecht accepting new patients now and providing that personalized pediatric care for every stage of your child's life. Visit chcnorthcountry.org for more information.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we perform an 18-point maintenance check with every oil change to help make sure you're good to go.
And?
Yeah, you're good to go.
Wonder why the dealership isn't that easy.
Well, we'd let you know if we found something in our check.
Oh, great. That was easy.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Quick, thorough, and honest. Come with no charge.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $32.99. Plus, receive 2 times O Rewards points. Limit supply. Choose Syntec exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, Dad, I've been saving up, and I think I'm ready to buy my own car.
Well, son, I think so too. Have you thought about how you're going to finance it?
Not really. I really like banking with Northern Credit Union. They offer loans, right?
Well, of course they do. Your mom and I have banked with Northern Credit Union for a long time, but have gone through them for a lot of things, like our home improvement loan for the deck we put on last summer. You should really stop in and see them before you shop around.
Yeah, but look, you can apply for a loan right in your Northern Credit Union mobile banking app.
Oh, really? Well, that's convenient. I knew anyone could apply for a loan at mynorthern.com. Looks like they're making it even easier now.
Apply for your next loan with Northern Credit Union online or in mobile banking. Not a member? Not a problem. Apply for your loan on our website at mynorthern.com. New car, used car, first car, home loan, personal loan, we've got you covered. Visit mynorthern.com to learn more. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Your chance at a jackpot is waiting on every corner. Head to your favorite New York Lottery retailer and grab a Powerball ticket today for your chance to win the ever-growing jackpot. Currently over $50 million. Good luck out there, New York. Please play responsibly.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely, and parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/try now.
WMAL. Bad day too because it's Hump Day. And speaking of Hump Day, there's video out today. Looked like Bill Clinton he ran into Hillary Clinton at an intersection in New York City. Looks like he tried to shove her into moving traffic. There was naturally a black SUV headed their way. Bill Clinton came up behind her and pushed her. She kind of darted away from him, got as far away from him as possible. I'll explain that coming up. But let's go to the telephones, Michael. Let's go to Jack, calling from the once great state of California. Jack, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Best year ever.
Best year ever. That's all.
You're starting with Telefrico.
Yeah, it's true.
In
Telefrico.
Texas, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's going to be a fun campaign for you. And then you just mentioned Fang Swalwell.
Oh, yeah.
Swalwell.
Yeah.
And then you remember California's been great for us because Nancy Pelosi, when she left, guess what she left? Hakeem the Dream.
Yeah.
He is the dream leader of the Democrats to go this year. So that's how the year's starting for you. Trump has 3 more years of winning, and he's only 12 days into this war. He's going to win.
Yeah. Yeah.
And why isn't John Kerry at the committee meetings? He's the one who set up all this Iran stuff anyway. He made all the money. Why isn't he showing up? Why isn't he talking?
You know, you're right. They should bring John Kerry up to Capitol Hill to explain his Iran deal that allowed them to continue to enrich uranium and spin centrifuges underground in secret where the IAEA couldn't get to it, the International Atomic Energy Agency, and to advance the range of their ballistic missiles. The Obama and John Kerry allowed that. That's what they started out and said, all right, let's help Iran get nuclear weapons and kill us all.
Right. And then the other big issue is where did the $375 billion go for the Inflation Reduction Act? John Podesta pushed out $375 billion. I've not heard a peep. I mean, yes, there's 20 billion here, $375 billion though. John Podesta never even answered for that. The Democrats are wrong about everything. They're rooting against the United States. We only have 40 seats to defend. I mean, there's only 40 congressional seats. I want to change it. To say a couple more things. There's only 40 congressional
I'm about to run out
seats.
the clock on you.
Why aren't we fighting for those now?
I'll tell you what. You want to finish your thought? Hang in there for a minute, and I'll let you finish your thoughts. Okay, Jack?
This is the Chris Plant Show.
News 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. 270 South still slows approaching and passing 109. Jammed on the 270 spur. Now onto the Beltway. It's the road crew setting up outer loop, blocking the left lane as you approach the American Legion Bridge. Bridges into town. We're still solid. Potomac and Anacostia River crossings. 295 is jammed each direction. 395 we're still backed up near the Pentagon. Wilson Bridge delays just after Route 5, Branch Avenue. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Warm and humid today, a shower possible throughout the day, afternoon thunderstorms and a high of 80. Scattered showers overnight, turning colder, low 50.
Every semester, thousands of students feel locked out of healthcare education. So who's going to open that door? Covista. With 5 universities and 24,000 graduates every year. Covista. Open the door to more at Covista.com.
Hey, Dad, I've been saving up, and I think I'm ready to buy my own car.
No, son, I think so too. Now, have you thought about how you're going to finance it?
Not really. I really like banking with Northern Credit Union. They offer loans, right?
Well, of course they do. Your mom and I have banked with Northern Credit Union for a long time and have gone through them for a lot of things, like our home improvement loan for the deck we put on last summer. You should really stop in and see them before you shop around.
Yeah, but look, you can apply for a loan right in your Northern Credit Union mobile banking app.
Oh, really? Well, that's convenient. I knew anyone could apply for a loan at mynorthern.com. Looks like they're making it even easier now.
Apply for your next loan with Northern Credit Union online or in mobile banking. Not a member? Not a problem. Apply for your loan on our website at mynorthern.com. New car, used car, first car, home loan, personal loan, we've got you covered. Visit mynorthern.com to learn more. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
You know what they say. Early bird gets the ultimate 30A vacation rental. On select homes, when you book early, you can save over $530 on a week-long stay with Verbo. Because early gets you closer to the action, whether it's waves lapping at the shore or snoozing in a hammock that overlooks, well, whatever you want it to. So book early, stay longer, save more with Verbo. That's the way to 30A.
Greenlight helps kids learn about money the way most of us never did, by actually using it. It's a debit card and money app that teaches kids to earn, save, and spend in real life, not just swipe and hope for the best. Learning happens naturally in the moment. Parents can set limits, see spending in real time, and guide better habits along the way, all in one place, without constant check-ins or cash runs. Don't wait. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/trygreenlight.
It's truck and SUV season at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT, yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy Truck Z71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader in out of Washington Street, or online at widgetautosales.com.
You won't see the engineer that slams the Nissan Rogue's door 13,920 times, or the corrosive chamber
Open
that
roast beef
simulates 10
sandwich
years of
on
life in
onion
5
bagel.
months, or the Rogue heat bake for over 300 combined hours. What you will see is a vehicle that can take punch after punch and keep rolling. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands by J.D. Power. We put it through the worst, so you get its best. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Newer models may be shown.
Wendy's has a new Girl Scout Thin Mints Frosty Fusion with Girl Scout Thin Mints cookie pieces, rich creamy frosty, and a mint chocolate cookie sauce. Which means Girl Scout Thin Mints and Wendy's Frosty, yeah, they're basically best friends now. It's like two delicious desserts just high-fived, snapped a few too many friendship selfies, and then rode a tandem bike down a never-ending road of mint chocolate frosty perfection. So swing by Wendy's and try the new Thin Mints Frosty Fusion.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Hey, Dad, I've been saving up, and I think I'm ready to buy my own car.
No, son, I think so too. Have you thought about how you're going to finance it?
Not really. I really like banking with Northern Credit Union. They offer loans, right?
Well, of course they do. Your mom and I have banked with Northern Credit Union for a long time and have gone through them for a lot of things, like our home improvement loan for the deck we put on last summer. You should really stop in and see them before you shop around.
Yeah, but look, you can apply for a loan right in your Northern Credit Union mobile banking app.
Oh, really? Well, that's convenient. I knew anyone could apply for a loan at mynorthern.com. Looks like they're making it even easier now.
Apply for your next loan with Northern Credit Union online or in mobile banking. Not a member? Not a problem. Apply for your loan on our website at mynorthern.com. New car, used car, first car, home loan, personal loan, we've got you covered. Visit mynorthern.com to learn more. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Washington's best way to wake up. O'Connor and Company with Larry O'Connor. Weekday mornings from 5 to 9 on WMAL.
Hi, we have returned. We remain at 888-630-9625. We're talking to Jack, who's calling from California. And Jack, you had you called with a list, and I got to say, one of the things you mentioned is one of my fun stories of the day. Eric Swalwell, you mentioned Eric Swalwell, and these ridiculous Democrats, and Telefrico where they're running for Senate in Texas. Completely ridiculous. And of course, the vanishing $375 billion that the Democrats gave to their friends and added to the national debt, right?
Oh, just to be, well, first of all, Chris, you have a great show, and you have guts, and you say things that people are scared to say, and I hope we're waking up somebody this morning. Telefrico and Fang Fang, that's a natural for you. I love it when you say Fang Fang, by the way. You're pretty good at that. That's a good one.
I love Fang Fang as Eric Swalwell, Democrat Congressman Eric Swalwell's Chinese intelligence controller, with whom he had a lengthy and may still be having a sexual affair. And the Chinese intelligence operative, the honeypot sent to California to recruit Democrats to become Chinese Communist Party intelligence operatives. And Fang Fang took Eric Swalwell, as you know, from a city council seat in California to the U.S. Congress and the Intelligence Committee on the U.S. Congress, where he could do the most good as a Chinese operative. Right?
Right. Well, you know, the chairman of that committee was Adam Schiff, who had a mortgage fraud thing that nobody's talking about still. The Democrats are wrong on history. They're wrong about covering up for Biden. They're rooting against the USA. They're going to go after Kristi Noem for stealing $100 million or two, whatever they say, you know, these words. But they forget about the $375 billion that Podesta got out at the end, which I'm shocked at. That's been a year ago. I did want to say a couple things. This Greek tanker has the guts to go through the Hormuz Strait, where the Greek tanker is taking Saudi oil to India. Those are the guts that Trump. That's what Trump does. He gets that kind of courage out there. The war's only been 12 days. But the thing I wanted to say is there's only 40 seats or so in Congress in this coming election. Why aren't we fighting for those now? What's this big thing? National campaign. Yeah, do a national campaign, free media. But they should be in the mail. They should be on the streets. They know these 40 seats. This is no big deal. National polls don't mean anything. You'll change the national polls. You only have 10 Senate seats.
Yeah.
What's this big scary thing about the election? You used to have Laura Trump at the RNC. Now she's a movie star. Somebody's got to be running that campaign over there. The FCC looks like they're finally waking up to fight the propaganda media complex that you guys have talked about. Howard Dean is right. It's a permanent campaign.
Yeah.
And the other thing I did want to say before I go, the nastiest communists are not the California. It's not Karen Bass. I know you like her, and Barbara Lee and Ted Lieu and all these guys. Oh, and your favorite is Ro Khanna. You know, he says one thing on one channel and then another on another. The nastiest guys. There was a congressman in Maryland. His name was Chris Van Hollen.
Sure.
You know what he is now? He's the senator. He's a nasty guy.
Yeah.
But the nastiest guy in Congress, the nastiest is a guy named Jamie Raskin. And I go online and say, who is this Jamie Raskin? The family business is communism. His dad was a communist, but they now call his dad an intellectual. So you're in the middle of the fight, Chris. Wake these people up.
I try. I get up early every morning before the sun to come out and tell the truth and hope that people will pay attention and learn and check out everything that I say. Double check everything that I say. But honestly, and Jack, you covered a lot of territory. You're right about Jamie Raskin, and Chris Van Hollen is the guy that Maryland senator. And again, I could knock a golf ball into Maryland from where we are in D.C. here, and Van Hollen went to El Salvador to hang out and have margaritas with the baby mama beaten human trafficking MS-13 gang member Kilmore Abrego Garcia. And the Democrats turn gang members into heroes, and they turn heroes into villains. They're not on the side of civilization. And honestly, I think they're a bigger threat to civilization on Earth today than radical Islam is.
Oh, definitely. Well, you know the thing, the linchpin. You know, you hit on this thing a few months ago when I love it when you have newsbusters on your show. By the way, newsbusters is so much better than some of those professors you have on your show. How would you like some of those professors that are on your show to be teaching your children?
Yeah.
But when when newsbusters came out, that another good news is Colbert's out in a few months, weeks, really, in a few weeks. 170 to 1, he had Democrat versus Republican, and the one Republican was Liz Cheney. But
That's right.
finally, it looks like the FCC, maybe they talk a lot. They did find, Stephanopoulos money, but they don't find Stephanopoulos. They find the company. They need to start finding the actual people saying the words.
Yeah.
Like the ladies on The View. They need to be personally responsible. But couldn't he have the FCC guy have like the major news guys and get them on a committee, in front of a committee? What's it going to take for you guys to tell the truth? What are the rules? What are journalistic standards, which you talked about? So you have 170 to 1, and finally they're waking up. It's been a year. Shouldn't there be some committee on journalistic standards? Where are you going to go with that?
Right. Well, they've got all these institutes, and they have meetings in Aspen, and the Poynter Institute and all this, and they're supposed to be upholding the standards of journalism, like CNN yesterday with two teenagers rode their bikes into New York, and the police were so mean they arrested them. And a paragraph in, you get to, they threw homemade nail bombs at people because they said it was an anti-Muslim protest. And then, believe it or not, Muslims showed up with bombs and threw them at the allegedly anti-Muslim. I think I'd rather have the anti-Muslim protesters live on my block than the guys throwing the nail bombs at the allegedly anti-Muslim protesters. But that's me, called me old-fashioned. But Jack, you mentioned something that I want to get to. And since you're here, I want to share it with you. California Congressman, this is Eric Swalwell. And it's KCRA TV, Channel 3 in California. California Congressman's staff delivers hearing aids to a deaf 6-year-old who was deported from Bay Area. Democrat Representative Eric Swalwell, who's also running for governor, said his team, he has a team, traveled to Colombia to deliver the hearing devices. Apparently, they don't have hearing aids in Colombia. And when the 6-year-old was deported, obviously with his adult family members that were illegally in the United States of America, which is illegal because illegal immigration is illegal, but not for Democrats. Alameda County, California is the dateline. A 6-year-old boy who is deaf was deported from the San Francisco Bay Area. They make it sound like all by himself. Has received his hearing aids in Colombia after Congressman Eric Swalwell's team flew there and delivered them. Apparently, they don't have FedEx in California. They don't have DHL. Authorities detained the boy's mother and her 2 children during a routine check in, they were supposed to be checking in last week. And the mother's attorney, mother has an attorney, reported the child was deported without his hearing aids. Sounds like reckless mother, reckless parenting there. He had about 4 years in the Bay Area. He's 6 years old, having escaped an abusive relationship. See, he's 6 years old, and for an abusive relationship. You shouldn't have sexual relationships with 2-year-olds, but that's me. His life is now we've got Eric Swalwell, and I want to share this with you because he is one of my favorite Democrat congressmen. He's controlled by the Chinese Communist Party. Eric Swalwell.
As we stand here, my staff has just landed in Colombia.
Oh, good.
And is placing the hearing devices back in the boy's ear.
Listen to this.
And he's able to do that with the help of the community who rallied to get his devices and personal belongings.
The community rallied.
So I thank my staff, and I thank the community for coming together.
The community came together.
We are also working.
You're working
with the Family's Council on returning the family back to the United States under what's called humanitarian parole.
Yeah, parole.
So he can return to his school for the deaf.
School for the deaf.
Where he belongs.
Well, he's got hearing aids. What does he need? If he's got hearing aids, then he can hear. He can go to a school for the hearing. But I got to tell you, Jack, this is a member of Congress. You break American laws, you come to the United States illegally. We got millions and millions of them. The Democrats are trying everything they can to destroy America, make it unrecognizable. The fundamental transformation of America that Barack Obama threatened, and then the poor, sympathetic story of the mother. Where's Dad? And they have some vague language. Abusive relationship. Came illegally to the United States, a 2-year-old, and you're now a 6-year-old. And it's so terrible. Got hearing aids, and the mother is such an awful mother that she went back to Colombia without the hearing aids with her poor deaf cartoon of a child who can't hear. So naturally, Eric Swalwell had to buy plane tickets with his staff, apparently multiple people, to carry 2 hearing aids for a 6-year-old. And then they got there and they used their fingers to put the 2 hearing aids in the kid's, he said ear in one ear, in the kid's ears. And the kid has to come back here to go to a school for the deaf. Any conflict here? You got hearing aids. You should be able to go to a school for the hearing. And mom left without the hearing aids, and they don't have hearing aids in Colombia, and they don't receive FedEx or DHL packs. And Eric Swalwell, this is again, it's George Floyd. They find a news story, they latch onto it, they turn it into a big national story, and it's all based on a fraud and a lie because he's a filthy Chinese communist operative Democrat, right?
Well, he's also a knucklehead who's running for governor. So you got other good news. He's out of Congress. He has to quit his seat. So you're not going to have to worry about him. He's never going to win governor. He's desperate for publicity. Gavin Newsom is out in a few months. Pelosi's out. You see, California's changing, Chris. The land of your college is going to change. It's going to lead the country. It's the home of Reagan. It's the home of Walt Disney. Elon Musk was here for a while before they ran him out. So but this propaganda media complex is a big thing. Once they get through that, this FCC guy's got to get onto that, make accountability. And you got a great show. These Democrats are on the wrong side of history again and again. And we got 3 more years of Trump. And this campaign year is just starting for you, Chris. You're going to have the best year of your life. I'm telling you. Thank you very much for letting me on.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for calling in from California. Yeah, it's a mad world, and it's going to be a crazy year. You're right. I mean, between Iran and people crashing their vans into the White House, is it? And honestly, flip a coin. Is it a jihadi or is it a Democrat? And then the question, Jack, is what's the difference? You know,
there is no difference.
Honestly,
that's the whole point.
Yeah.
I don't know how these guys think. I'm telling you, there's a story about the family bad business. You need to study Jamie Raskin's family.
Yeah. Which I have not done. I will confess.
Business. It's communism. They're out and open about it. It says it's called the Society of U.S. Intellectual History. So they changed the name from communists to intellectuals.
Right. That makes them smarter than everybody else. They're intellectuals.
It's how they frame it. This is the issue with the FCC. The questions come in straight, and then the news person frames it differently. It's how they frame it. It's like how I think that's how they get away with everything.
Well, yeah, the manipulation of language. The manipulation of language is key to everything. The dialectics, and they've been analyzing and studying and manipulating this for generations on college campuses and beyond. Absolutely true. And since we're talking about Democrats and the West Coast, the state of Washington, north of you there, they're passing a new bill that will add a 9.9% income tax to anyone that makes more than $1 million a year. And so naturally, millionaires are fleeing the state of Washington. And the Howard Schultz, the Starbucks guy, reports are that he's gone to Miami and bought himself a $50 million condominium so that he can spend at least 6 months plus 1 day in Florida and not pay the taxes in Washington, the home of Starbucks and, Seattle, Washington, Starbucks and all that stuff. And Howard Schultz said, oh, you're gonna steal millions and millions and millions. He's a multi-billionaire, of course. You're going to steal millions and millions of dollars from me. And tell you what, I'm a billionaire. I don't have to put up with this stuff. And I can keep my houses in Washington, but I'm going to buy a $50 million condo in Miami overlooking the ocean, and it'll be real nice. And I'll be paying no income taxes in Florida, thanks to the Republicans there. The Democrat Party, they're just blowing up everything they touch and leaving destruction in their wake. And I gotta again, where is the pound movement? They got the Pound Me Too movement and all that stuff, and the peace for Palestine and stop the genocide in Palestine. And the Iranians just murdered, at a bare minimum, 35,000 of their own people and maybe 55,000 of their own people. And now the thugs there are threatening to kill everybody in the streets if anybody comes out to protest. I'm going to share that with you coming up, because the police in Iran are saying anybody protests, we've got our fingers on the triggers and we're going to start gunning you down. And not a Democrat has said one thing about it. There's no movement. There's no Democrat member of Congress saying free, free Iran. 92 million people there yearning to breathe free. Not a single Democrat has uttered a single syllable in support. They haven't even created a pound sign for it. You know, free, free Iran. 92 million people want to live free. A very small number of people in Iran want to kill everybody and stomp on their heads with their hobnailed boots. And the Democrats, they're not, you know, the genocide. They've already killed more of their own people, the government, than there were Hamas people killed in Gaza. And the Democrats were suicide over Gaza and, self-immolating, blowing things up, blowing up Jewish governors,
I have to
Jewish
go.
governor's mansion in Pennsylvania, because they cared so much.
Things to do this morning.
Maybe 55,000
So I'll be back
people
later.
murdered in Iran by their own government. Not a single Democrat has said a
Sorry, I
single
can't
word.
hang out.
They're on the side of the regime there. It's their core. It's at their